We are directly in the sunlight. There we go. What's going on, guys? My name is Carl Fox, and today I will be showing you my 2005 Acura RSX Type S A-Spec. And I have been so graciously invited onto the channel, be it that I am a GasCanCo street team member. And if you'd like to know more about that, just visit their website, GasCanCo.com. So for today's episode, we'll take a look at the car. I'll show you a little bit about it and get you kind of caught up to where the build has progressed since I took the vehicle over from my wife, Jasmine. So the car started off as a Nighthawk Black Pearl 05 Acura RSX Type S A-Spec. It's a little bit of a mouthful. On the DC5 chassis. This will be the third DC5 I have owned. Currently, between me and Jasmine, we actually still own 3 DC5s, with her project car now being an 01 LS Integra. When she moved down here from Maryland, she was in an 05 automatic Nighthawk Black Pearl RSX, and unfortunately she was rear-ended. However, the car was in perfect running condition. It would still drive in a straight line, and the rear hatch glass didn't even shatter. So I'd contacted the insurance agency, which they had already totaled it out. I bought it back from them for dirt cheap, but because me and Jasmine's relationship was basically built upon the fact that we met over these cars, we had to find her another one. Our friend Michael Huffman just so happened to have this one. It was a diamond in the rough. When I say rough, I mean really, really rough. However, it was there. Everything was there. He gave us a great price on it, and we picked it up for him. It was bone stock, as John Fawkes would say, down to the paper air filter, except for one little detail. And this one little detail being the fact that Michael had neglected to tell us there was a 6-putt clutch in it. Everything else is factory. Everything. So, bless Jasmine's heart, she's trying to learn her first manual. Can't figure out why. Hell, I had problems driving the car, along with numerous other people that are very fluid with driving manuals. Could not figure it out. A few months go by, and lo and behold, the engine blows. A little bit of knock knock, who's there situation. So we take the car out to our great pal Eric Jarvis at Mad Scientist Auto. He hooks us up, gets us a fresh rebuild, and for just a couple extra dollars, actually gets the car set up on a base map from K-Tuner. All in one bang. And that is when Eric broke the news to us that, yeah, that's not a factory clutch in that car at all. So while the car's torn apart up at the shop, we had him throw a nice Exetti sporty clutch in it. It's not an OE replacement, it's kind of like stage 1 above it for those kids who break everything down into stages. I'm not exactly what the part was called, but so we get the car back. Jasmine absolutely loves it. She falls in love. However, for those who know me and Jasmine, we also have little Corey. None of our cars could comfortably accommodate our son, which is where the Volkswagen comes into the picture. And that is a whole nother story for another episode. If GasCan is willing to host some more episodes of me on there. And with that, my other RSX had started showing some age, so I found myself more and more frequently driving this one. And with the body slowly, I'm not going to say decaying, but it was showing again age, I had salvaged a lot of the nicer parts off of my other RSX and started putting them on this car. Be it the Mugen style Cyben hood, the carbon spoiler in the rear, just miscellaneous parts like that. So, I really don't know how to say it. I kind of subconsciously took possession of the car, not on purpose, but I guess she could just see the passion that I was putting into it as I was building her car. And so she reluctantly just kind of turned it over to me and let me do with it what I wanted to. So with that, I gifted her a great little LS Integra that she's currently building now. And again, hopefully we'll feature that on the channel in the future, because she has done a phenomenal job with it already. It's a little bit earlier into the progress, so you all will be able to follow it better than with this one, which has already had a great deal done to it. So first and foremost, I am a Honda purist. I was raised Ford. I got into the import stuff back when Fast and Furious came out. And for some reason, I really couldn't tell you how I got into Honda. I think what did it for me was my mom, when I was in high school, bought me a 1998 Honda Accord LX. It was desert silver metallic and had gray cloth interior. However, I popped the hood and it had an F-Series in it. And it said VTEC on the valve cover. I didn't know what VTEC was, but I knew it meant race car. And I think from there on in, I was hooked on Hondas. I'd had a Prelude and multitude of other RSXs before this one. And so with that, you become really just a Honda purist. And that's why I don't refuse to acknowledge the fact that Acura rebranded these cars, because it's not a big deal. They were trying to identify with our market versus across seas. However, at the end of the day, they took a car, a great car, and they put different badges on it and sold it as something else. It's no different than when the guys bring Holdens up here and Chevy sells them as SS's, and the guys just rebadge them back as their natural being of Holdens. Same principle. So my goal with this car was to do a pure OEM plus Honda build, a clone. So after we'd had the car repaired, the quarter panel was completely caved in, the clear coat was peeling all over the car, rust on the fenders, just a lot of ins and outs stuff. Once we got the car back to a good starting point, then I started to hone in on collecting parts, pieces, and rare JDM goodies that could be applied. And that's about where we're at now. So I think what I'll do is I'll go through and show you the car and explain to you why I've done what I've done, where we're at, and what's left to do on this build. Her name is Mia. So if you ever see the term Mia, the name Mia on social media, I do name my cars, and she is in fact named after Mia from Fast and Furious, who drove an Integra for like 13 seconds in the first Fast and Furious movie. Only difference was hers was 4-door. So if my clone for this car would have been a 2005 Honda Integra, it would have been the ABA chassis, not the LA, that was the droopy lights. It would have been the ABA chassis. It would have been a Honda Integra Type S. That was a trim that came on the 0506 models. It was their base trim, however, it was still promoted as being sporty. Maybe something equivalent to the SI here in the States. There was other trims throughout different markets for the Integra. For the DC5 chassis, there was the IS for the 0204 body style. And I think there was like an XI for Brazil or Malaysia. But this one goes after the common JDM base model Type S clone. However, there are a few personal preferences that don't go with a proper clone that one could easily point out that I just preferred, I think look better. One of the biggest telltale signs is the fact that there is not a Type S badge on the grille, and the emblem is from the 0506 Type R DC5. That would have been backwards. There would have been just a basic Chrome H, as most of you are used to seeing, and there would have been, again, a Type S badge in the grille off to the side. So let's go take a look at the car and get you started on a little bit of a tour. We'll start with the front of the car here. The first thing, quite obvious, is the hood. That's kind of a crown jewel. And that just goes with the times. I'm a little bit old school Rice. I am old school Rice. So the exposed carbon hoods back in the day were all the rage. This one in particular is from the company Cybin, and it is a Mugen direct mold. And the way you can tell that it's a true Mugen mold is right there. Let my camera focus. You can see the molding for the air intake. The front bumper is just a basic 0506 bumper with the Mugen lip running across the bottom. It pretty much just exempts the factory bumper and just pulls it down lower. I did have fog lights, but once I finally got a hold of these inserts, I fell in love and I had to have them. However, there is a very huge surprise coming to the front of this car, hopefully very soon. And then of course I've got my little Takata toe strap up there. Where is it at? There it is. Matching the harnesses for now. However, GasCan does have their adamantium toe straps that I might swap out. The headlights, I get asked all of the time, can I see at night? And the question is, no. They are so dull that I can run my brights and nobody will flash me. That's how awful they are. When I ordered the covers, they were supposed to be semi-opaque. They're supposed to be more of a lighter anthracite, lighter gray. And I got sent black. But I had the day off and nothing to do, so they got slapped on. And during the day, I actually really enjoy them. They've got this really neat honeycomb finish. But yeah, at nighttime, they're about useless. Of course, we got the GasCan banner. And then these are the greatest things ever. These little aero catch pans. If you ever want to steal anything out of my engine bay, feel free. There is no lock on the engine. These little quick releases, I went ahead and wrapped my washer in matching vinyl. These are the greatest things ever. You just push in, pull out, you're good to go. And then when you want to push it back, you're done. I actually wasn't real big on installing those, but again, I've got a big surprise coming soon and I needed those. Moving over to the side, my shoe game isn't exactly up to point. I'm running on eBay specials with these Achilles something, I don't know. They're 255/40 17s, which is as big as I could fit. And then my lug nut game. Oh yeah, that's rough. My lug nuts are from O'Reilly's. Oh no. Oh no. And the wheels are bronze MST-01s. I think these are the same wheels that Avid manufactures. They are actually way more aggressive than the TE37s and like a tenth of the price. So if I break one, it's fine. Not to mention, like I said, they are gold. However, they are hyper dipped, which is a form of liquid wrap, black. So if I want to go back to gold, it's like a 5-minute process. They have been dipped for about a year now and they are holding up tremendously. Next up we have the Mugen side skirt. Pulling from the same body line as the lip. Following around to the Mugen diffuser. Now we are going to address the elephant in the room, and that is that big sticker on the side quarter panel. What is that gaudy thing, and why is it there? Actually, let's be real. Elephant in the room is that guy right there. That is awful. That is the worst spot on any of my cars currently. But back to the sticker. A lot of the RSX guys out there, when they do these little badge swaps, they'll run these Integra Type S decals. There we are. On the side quarter panels. Those decals never actually existed from factory. I manufactured mine out of layered Oracal just to match the Integra Type S badge. The Type R, however, did come with those decals. The Type S never did. So if you see one, it's fake. Does it look cool? Absolutely. Also, GoPro, because race car. Now here comes probably the utmost riciest part on the whole car. And you know what? It's weird, but I like it. I really like it. That little guy right there. Yep. That is a carbon fiber Type R stick-on vent. Yep. My thought process is when the Type R came out, I actually really liked how Honda had molded the front vent in. However, I wasn't going to go chopping up fenders, as many as I currently have, to see if it would even look nice. So I found those stick-on vents on eBay. Again, if you can tell, I'm old school. I love eBay, and I don't support Amazon. I'm not going to get too political, but let's just say I'm old school. However, so I bought those for stupid cheap. Bit that they were carbon, some double-sided tape, stick them on, and see if they looked. If they didn't look, well, I'd find something to use them on. But once I lined them up with the body line right below the greenhouse, kind of runs along the whole car right there, I think they actually looked pretty good. So the next step is to grab one of the sets of fenders I have at the house, order the actual plastic pop-in piece, and fabricate a set of Type R fenders for a DC-5. But here's the crappy part. The stick-ons have been on that car for about a year now. Laziness has really sat in. Let me know in the comments if you like the stick-ons or not. They're totally functional for aesthetics, I guess. We can't forget the decals and the details. If you know what that says, let me know in the comments. Well, guys, I think we're going to call it for the first episode there. Let me know in the comments what you think about Miss Mia. Let me know what you would change, what you would do to her, and what you would like to see happen to her. I think on the next episode we might either hit the drivetrain or even the interior. Peace. Now, since GasCan's being so gracious to let us film with Mia on here, I do want to take a quick moment and give a shout out to them. So Carl, if you will. So to interrupt your tour of my Integra, I just wanted to let everybody know that this video is sponsored by GasCanCo. They actually sent me a lot of good stuff today. I have their key tag for my key, and it features a really durable H&K clasp. As I just showed you, I have a case of their unleaded energy drinks. As far as I know, they're the only ones with energy drinks in the state of Kentucky, West Virginia, and Ohio. So not only is it for car enthusiasts, it's local business. And last but not least, aside from the shirt, which I'm a total fanboy for, they sent me their toe strap, complete with all the hardware. There's a bag of hardware, I believe it's still in the car. So yeah, go check them out. They're on the website, GasCanCo.com. I'm playing with this now, because this will probably end up on my car. It matches the theme a hell of a lot better than the green Takata toe strap right there. Now, back to your regularly scheduled programming. Yeah. Anyway. And now we're to the rear of Mia. Hold on, let me cover up my license plate. That way nobody knows what car I drive. Okay, so now we've got the Mugen diffuser. The factory Acura tail lights. These are not the Integra tail lights. The corresponding badges, again, the Type RH. And the deck. So the deck blade right here, that is correct. However, I wanted the Type R spoiler. Now, unlike the Type R spoiler, this one is carbon fiber. It's a direct mold from the Type R, but it does not match up with the deck blade. There are two different deck blades that came on the DC5. There was the A-Spec, which is this one, and then there was one for the Integra Type S. Well, the A-Spec one does not leave room on the sides for the Type R spoiler. So I had to cut it out, get the spoiler fitted, and bada bing, bada boom. So why didn't I just take the blade off? Well, I did. Except Honda thought it would be nice to leave two 10mm bolts and about 5 or 6 holes for plastic clips in the hatch. Not happening. So that's why we had to make them friends and work together. Now the last and biggest part of the exterior would be the vinyl. I wrapped it a year and a half ago. Yeah. This is Orcal's 970RA, or Rapid Air, and the collar is crystal metallic white. And let me just tell you, it does great in those late night gas station LED pics. And the reasoning behind this is because I'm not yet ready for a full chassis paint job, because I've got a few more body parts to assemble and a few more body parts to fix. But once we're ready, the car will be painted Honda Championship Pearlescent White. And when I did this vinyl, I wanted it to look factory, and that's a pretty close collar match to Honda's Championship Pearl. Now you can see the moonroof up there. I went ahead and wrapped it as well. And the reasoning behind this was because back for the 4th gen Preludes, they had moonroofs, but they weren't glass. They were metal and they were body matched. And I absolutely love that. Now, if I had my way, I would have a solid roof cap, just like the Type R or even the Canadian model RSXs. However, I don't have that option just yet, so it got wrapped. But I will have to think of something when it comes time to paint the car. And as far as the spoiler back there, I actually stole that idea from the old Evos that had their side blades collar matched. And the reasoning behind that is just how auto manufacturers black out B-pillars so they kind of hide themselves. I felt like if the spoiler was carbon all the way around, it would hide itself and you would lose that profile of the DC5 Integra.